Hello everyone, my name is Joydeep Banik and today I am going to teach about the file system hierarchy and a few basic commands. This is the first time that I will be teaching you Kali or specifically Linux on uh, the entire say in a practical manner. So if you follow Kali like me, or if you follow Ubuntu or say Mint or any other say Parrot OS, you would first get something like this. The entire thing I'm selecting. Okay. Now you won't have this very logo over here. This logo is specific for Kali users. But you would have something like, say for Ubuntu you would have an orange screen. I don't know for Mint. For Parrot OS you would have something green elements, green colored elements. But yeah, you would have something like this, a wallpaper, some files over here. You won't have files like Chrome, okay, and say OBS Studio and Gromit MPX, because I have added this. You would find home, your file system, trash, and your partition. Okay. So, and this might look very intimidating, okay, at first, because yeah, people who come from the Windows world, okay, there are very less features over here. Like you can still use the graphical user interface. Like say if I go to home, okay, I can see a graphical user interface, a pretty graphical user interface. Okay, I have my desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, and every other files or directories. Like I installed Google Chrome, so I have this .debian file. Now what is this .debian file? I'm going to explain later. Okay, I have documents, music, and I have the file system. Okay, so it's pretty basic in nature. Like you won't have problems uh, navigating through Linux with the help of the graphical user interface. But remember why Linux was made. Linux was specifically made to be used through the terminal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna launch our terminal. The terminal is right here. This black box. Okay. This black box. Now it might be green, it might be blue. Okay. But anyways, we're gonna launch it. And our terminal is open. Let me zoom. I'm going to teach you a few basic things here. I'm not going to teach you some commands like right now. I'm going to teach you a few things. You see, when we launch our terminal, there are some things written over here. Like for me, it's written Joydeep Banik. Then we have like @k symbol. You can have the @ symbol also. I have HP written over here, and then we have, I don't know what this symbol is called. I really don't know. But yeah, some sort of approximation signal. And then we have the $sign. So what does this mean? This Joydeep Banik is the username. Okay. If you have any other username, it would be represented over here. Let me just control D8. Sorry. Yeah. So the first thing that you will see is the username. The second thing, this one, is your host name. The host name that you have set up during the installation process. This symbol, this approximation signal, represents your directory. Now, what is this directory? Directory means folders, basically. Now, different full directories have different symbols. I'm going to talk about it, but right now, just skip it. Just remember that this kind of symbols means directories. And this $sign represents that you're logged into the terminal as a user. Now I'm going to show you another example. I also have something called root terminal emulator and PowerShell. PowerShell is for Windows, you know that. And root terminal emulator. If you see the description, we have something like opens the terminal as a root user using sudo to ask for the password. So let me just open it. It requires the password. So I'm gonna quickly type in my password, authenticate, and yeah, the same thing. Username, the host name, the directory, and the hash symbol. Now there are few changes over here. The first change is the username isn't matching. Here it is the root, here it is Joydeep Banik. Here it is Joydeep Banik, here it is root. Why is that? Well, I am currently logged in as Joydeep Banik. Okay, Joydeep Banik is a user for this HP system. But for every other Linux operating system, there is also a default user called the root user, which can access any files in the system. It has every other permission to do anything with the system. Like for Joydeep Banik, for the user Joydeep Banik, he does not have each and every other permissions. He cannot access every other system files. Like he can access, say, by borrowing in some root powers. Now, what are these root powers? I'm going to talk about it later. I'm just going to give you a brief gist about what's going on. So yeah, what I was telling is, yeah, Joydeep Banik user does not have entire access to the system. He cannot open any file. There are some select files which he cannot open. Whereas the root user is present in every other Linux operating system. The root user is present as a default user. The root user can access every file in the system, can modify any file in the system, and can also delete any file in the system. This hash symbol means you are logged in as the root. So if you see hash means let me just, so if you see hash means root user. Okay, and if you see dollar, where is my dollar? Okay, where this is dollar. If you see the dollar symbol means you are logged in as just a normal user. Alright, you're just logged in as a normal user. So I will just close it. So this is my terminal. Now the first command that we are going to learn is something called pwd. Pwd stands for print working directory, which means it's going to print the folder or the directory in which you are currently logged in as. So it's just a 3-letter command, pwd. Let's press enter, and it's going to show an address. So Joydeep Banik, that is me, is currently logged in at this address /home/Joydeep Banik. Okay, another thing I forgot to mention. This symbol. Okay, this symbol means the home directory. Okay, this symbol means you are in the home directory. This symbol means you are in the root directory, the slash symbol, and this hash symbol means you are the root user. These are the few symbols that you are going to notice when you are in the terminal. When you are jumping between directories and directories, you would see these three symbols. So anyways, our first command was pwd. So where we are at now, you will see, okay, this is what my terminal shows, but how do I understand where I am through the graphical user interface? So let's just open home, and yeah, I'm over here actually. Like, how do I show you? Where is my home? Home. Yeah, this selected file, I am right over here inside Joydeep Banik. I'm right over here. So I can see all these files under my folder. Okay, let me just recap, because it's the first time you're learning a command, a Linux command. So what is pwd? Pwd stands for print working directory. What does it do? It prints the directory in which you are currently at. Like for here, I'm currently at /home/joydeepmanik, which in the graphical user interface is this file. Inside home, inside Joydeep Banik, right here. This goes our first command. The second command is something. Okay, let me just tell you a different story. In the graphical user interface, you right now know where you are. Okay, you know you are inside home, inside Joydeep Banik, and you can see all these files. But when you come back into the terminal, you don't see any of these files. Like, where are the files? You sure do know that you are in the directory, you are in the right directory, but you don't see any files. So we have a command for that. The command is ls. ls stands for list. So what does ls do? ls lists each and every file and folder that is present under your working directory. Like right now, I am under /home/Joydeep Banik. So what is it is going to do? It is going to print everything. It is going to show you everything, like the desktop, documents, downloads, music, each and everything into the terminal. So how? Let's press enter. Here it is. See, we have a video file. Like here you can see the video file. Let me just close it. Yeah, we have the video file. We have another video file over here. We have desktop, documents, downloads. Similarly, we have, see here, we have desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, public, templates, videos. We have a MKV file, like a video file. We have a dep file, Debian file. Now what are these files? I'm going to talk about later. So this was ls command. What does ls command do? It lists each and every file and folder that is present under the working directory in which you are currently logged in as. Now say I want to jump into desktop. In the graphical user interface, it's very easy. I just double click on desktop and I am there in the desktop file. But how do you do it in the terminal? You write cd. Okay, cd stands for change directory, or you can also say change folder if you are from the say Windows world. You would like to call directory as folder, but anyways, people call directory more than folder. So cd means change directory. The operation which we just did over here, like we double clicked on desktop and we are inside desktop right now. Okay, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to go inside desktop, which means it's going to change its directory. Like the current directory is this one. Okay, this thing. Now what it is going to do is it's going to change its directory and go inside desktop. So let's just hit enter, and here we are. Now you won't see anything. Now how are you sure that you are in the desktop file? Again, print pwd, like type in pwd, print working directory, and hit enter. Oh, okay, sorry. I did not write anything after cd. That's the reason it came like this. I'm inside the same directory itself because I did not change directory to anything. So let's write cd desktop. Okay, once I hit enter, you see it's showing me I am inside desktop. If you want to be more sure, type in pwd, which means print working directory, and hit enter. You see the address has been updated. You are currently inside home, inside Joydeep Banik, inside desktop. Now here you can see in the graphical user interface we have some files. So how do we see these files in the terminal? Same way, we list them by typing in ls command. ls, enter. We see the files, the studio.desktop, google chrome.desktop, and gromit mpx.desktop. Now let's say I'm inside the desktop and I want to come back to this very address, the previous directory. How do I do that? We type in cd ... and if we again do pwd, see, from desktop we came back into /home/Joydeep Banik. So if you press cd ... it basically means you are going into the previous directory. Oh, alright. So let's say you do cd ... until you can't go anymore. Let's do it. cd ... you are inside the home directory. Here it is indicating. Again let's do cd ... now you are inside something. Remember that I told you slash means the root directory. You are inside root directory. Are you sure you are inside the root directory? Let's find out. We type in pwd. You see we have a single element called slash, which means we are in the root directory. Let's say we want to list the files and the folders of the root directory. How do we do that? We press ls, and there we are. All the files, the folders, each and everything which is under the root directory is here. Now I will like you to come here in the Linux file system hierarchy. Alright. So this thing, this slash means the root directory. Under it you would see many folders or directories: bin, dev, home, entry.image.old, something like that, lib32, lib64, lib, etc., boot. Okay, we have opt, mnt, proc. Now what are these? It should have some functions, right? So let's come to the notepad and let's learn about the functions. A prerequisite over here is, if you know trees well, you find it easy to understand here. If you don't know, it's still possible to understand. Let me just make it clear to you. So under root directory we have all these files and folders. All these files and folders, everything that I have selected is a folder or a file. Now let's talk about these folders. What is bin? What does bin contain? It literally contains the command binaries, which means it contains commands. Let's see. Let's jump into bin. How do we jump into the bin? We type in cd bin. You see, our address has been updated. We are inside bin. Now let's see the files of bin. We type in ls, and there it is. We have loads and loads of files. Now what does bin contain? Bin basically contains the binary executables or the common Linux commands, which means the commands that I taught you just now, like pwd, cd, ls, you would find it over here too. Like, let me search it. ls. Okay, there should be ls. Okay, it's a long list. Wait, can I find it somehow? Help, actions. Okay, yeah, I can find it. ls. Okay, no, I can't find it. Okay, anyways. Let me just show you. Here it is. You see cd. You see cd over here. Now these are some like additional commands. Okay, like cd fix profile, cd create profile. So what are so we also have cgpt and everything other. We have, I think, catfish. Now what it is, I'm going to talk about later. Okay, so like we have clang. If you know what clang is, if you don't know, no worries, I won't explain right now, I will explain later. So yeah, what does bin basically contain? Bin basically contains the binary executables or the common Linux commands in single user mode. Like we have nmap. I was talking about nmap. Remember, I was talking about nmap. Here it is, nmap. Here we have zip. Alright. And here, if I'm not wrong, I saw MySQL. Like here, see, we have MySQL. The binary executables that are installed. Okay, now how do we go back? We type in cd ... We again came into the root directory. See, we came to the root directory. Let's list it again. Now coming back to notepad, this is the boot file. Okay, we have another file directory called boot. What does boot file contain? The static boot files, the kernel and the bootloader. The bootloader meaning the grub and the kernel. So let's dive into the boot file. We will type in cd boot and we're gonna list it. So yeah, see, we have grub and we have something called EFI. Okay, if you don't know EFI, it's no worries, but yeah, EFI is a part of the UEFI system or the UEFI firmware system. If you don't know, no worries, you don't have to, like, it's not that important. So let's go back again, cd ... Now the thing is, there are a lot of files and I'm going to talk about it in a very in a fast manner. Why? Because not every directory is important. Okay, should I do fast? Let's do fast. Okay, the etc file or the etc file, in Linux world it's called the etc file. Okay, people like to call it etc. So let's jump into etc file and we do ls and we see a ton of stuff. What is this? It basically contains the configuration files. You see .conf. Okay, let's go back, ls again. Okay, let's go to var over here. Now what is var? Let's find out. cd var ls and we have this. Now what is this? these are variable files. Okay, it contains all the variable files. Let's again go back, cd dot dot ls. Let's go to mnt over right over here. Okay, let's go to mnt and we do ls. We have nothing. Why? Because mnt stands for mount devices. So any removable device which I would have attached, like say if I attach a USB, let's say I'm going to show you. Just hold on a minute. Yeah, there is my USB. Now let's say I connect my USB. Alright, and then now if I do ls, I should see my USB file. Okay, I think it did not connect. But okay, no, it did connect. Okay, it's not showing in the mount file. Okay, if it's not showing in the mount file, it should show in the media file. Okay, sometimes the mount and the media file are interchangeable. Okay, now what does mount file do? It shows you the devices that are connected, like the removable devices like SD cards, USBs. Media 2 stores the same thing. So let's jump into media, cd dot dot, we go back to root directory and we go to cd media, we do ls, and there it is, cd-rom, and there it is, Joydeep Banik. You see that? Now it is because I have attached the USB, that this cd-rom and this Joydeep Banik specifically is showing it to you because my pen drive name is Joydeep Banik 2. Anyways, let's go back again to the root directory. Let's go to temp. Now where is temp? Here it is, temp, tmp, cd tmp, we do ls and we see a ton of stuff. What is tmp stands for? Tmp stands for temporary files. These files are created when you start your operating system, or when you start any kind of application. Some temporary files get created which can be deleted later, which sometimes get automatically deleted or you have to manually delete them. So yeah, these are the temporary files. Okay, coming back again, cd dot dot, let's go to home. Where is home? Okay, let's show you, ls, and here it is, home, cd home, we do ls and we have Joydeep Banik. So what is Joydeep Banik? Joydeep Banik is the user. Let's do cd Joydeep Banik, cd Joydeep Banik, and we do ls. We are in the same directory in which we were previously there, like up in the very beginning, the directory in which we were in, it's the same directory with the desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, public, everything. We do cd dot dot again, cd dot dot, and we are in the root directory, ls. Okay, we have another thing called sbin. Now what is sbin? Sbin stands for, you can say sbin stands for super bin. I like to call it super bin. So let's jump into sbin. We do ls and there it is. Now what is sbin means? What does sbin contains? Sbin contains system binary files. Okay, same thing as bin, but these commands or these binary files are special. Why? Because only system administrators use them. Like group reboot, group probe, you have different types of binary files related to group install, everything. Alright, so these commands are generally used by the system administrator. If you are the system administrator, you can use these commands. If you are not, you won't be able to use these commands. So let's go back to cd dot dot ls. Now these were basically the important folders or the directories which I thought is essential to share with you. If you want to learn more about this, okay, you can come here and you can just take a screenshot of this, like here, like just pause the video and take a screenshot. You would I have just commented everything about what is nothing, what is nothing what I'm telling. Anyways, so yeah, that was it. Now coming back to the terminal again. Now see, we have lots of stuff over here. Like we just pressed a few commands and we have this many amount of texts in our terminal, and which gets a bit messy. So let's say you want to clear your terminal. So what is the command for that? The command is clear. What does clear do? Let's see. We press enter and there it is. Everything just vanishes. So clear does this. The next command is who am I? Now what does who am I do? It prints the user you are logged in as, which means I'm logged in as, like right now I'm logged in as Joydeep Banik. So it should show me Joydeep_Banik. Yeah, you see, I'm currently logged in as Joydeep Banik, so it's showing me Joydeep Banik. Now let's say if I go to my root terminal emulator, okay, and here if I type in who am I, it should show root. Yes, why? Because as I said, there is a default user called root who has access and permission to each and every file. Okay, since right now I am logged in as root in this terminal, it will show me root whenever I press, whenever I type who am I. So this was like another command. If you sometimes forget who are you in the middle of scripting, you can just type in this command. Anyways, another command is cat. What does cat do? Cat is not an animal over here, but cat stands for concatenate. What does concatenate do? It basically prints the contents of a file. So let's cat something, right? Let's go to ls and let's go to bin, ls again, and here should be say ls again, like ls command should be there in the bin. So if I do cat ls, there it is. Yeah, like I couldn't find the ls command. So this all gibberish that you are seeing, okay, it's written in binary. That is the reason you find it unable to read. Okay, nobody can read it. If you're reading it, you are a robot. Okay. So anyways, like yeah, previously I failed to show you the ls file inside the bin folder, but yeah, it's there in the bin folder. It somehow I somehow overlooked it, because if it had not been in the bin folder, this command, the command, whereas this command cat ls would have shown me error. But since there is no error, it means that yeah, the ls command is there inside the bin folder. Now what do you mean by the ls command is there inside the bin folder? The ls command itself is a file. The command itself is a file. Okay, and what we are doing by pressing cat ls is we are printing the contents of the ls command or the ls file. So this was it. So again, the screen became too messy. Let's clear it out. So yeah, this was it. I think it was a lot today. I think it went around over 30 minutes. So yeah, I will just recap once again about the commands. The first command is pwd, it prints the working directory. Right now I am inside bin, which is inside the root directory. The second command is change directory, since I have no directory over here. So what I'm gonna do is cd dot dot. What does cd dot dot stands for? Cd dot dot stands for changing directory to the previous directory. So if I press this, I will come into the root directory, which is this one. If I do pwd here, it will print me the root, the symbol of the root directory. Next is list command or ls. If I press enter, it will list each file and folder which is present inside the root directory or the directory in which you are inside. The next command which I taught you is the cd command, which stands for change directory. Let's say I want to change my directory to home, so let's type in home and we are inside home. We do ls, we see Joydeep Banik as user, we again do Joydeep Banik and we are inside Joydeep Banik. The next command is who am I. It prints the user that you are currently logged in as. So as I am logged in as Joydeep underscore Banik, it should show me Joydeep underscore Banik. Correct. The last command is cat. If you want to cat a file, let's say here I have a file called this thing. So if I just copy it, and I think if I can paste it over here, yeah, the same thing. The thing which you are seeing over here, you can see it also over here or too in the terminal. Okay, so yeah, that was it for today's video. I think it was a lot for today's video. If you find any problems, you can comment down, because I think there will be problems. So yeah, if you have problems, do comment down. If you actually learned something, please make sure to like the video if I was able to teach you something. So make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching my video.